A wealthy businesswoman receives a speeding ticket and walks into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom with nothing but contempt. She immediately begins insulting him, refusing to show respect, and even attempts to walk out mid-hearing. What Judge Caprio does next serves as a powerful reminder that money doesn't buy respect, and arrogance always has consequences. This is Patricia Whitmore's story, a cautionary tale of what happens when entitlement collides with real authority in a courtroom where character matters infinitely more than your bank account. Wednesday morning, 10:00 a.m., Providence Municipal Court, Judge Frank Caprio prepares for what appears to be a routine speeding case when his bailiff leans in with a warning. Your Honor, this defendant has been difficult with court staff. The citation reads, Patricia Whitmore, age 48, cited for driving 25 mph over the speed limit in a residential neighborhood. The officer's notes are telling. Defendant was argumentative, claimed she was too important to be stopped, and refused to sign the citation initially. Patricia Whitmore enters wearing designer clothes from head to toe, carrying a luxury handbag, checking her phone constantly. Her body language makes it abundantly clear she considers this proceeding beneath her. Judge Caprio begins professionally. Ms. Whitmore, you're here regarding a speeding citation. Please approach. Patricia walks forward slowly, still absorbed in her phone. Ms. Whitmore, I need your full attention. Please put your phone away, Judge Caprio instructs. Patricia looks up with visible annoyance. I'm handling important business matters. Can we make this quick? I have actual important things to do today. The courtroom immediately tenses at her dismissive tone toward the judge. Ms. Whitmore, this court is important and you'll give it your full attention, Judge Caprio responds firmly. Now, you were cited for driving 55 in a 30 mph zone. How do you plead? This whole thing is ridiculous, Patricia scoffs. That speed limit is absurd for that road. I drive it every day, and I've never had a problem. Judge Caprio's expression remains calm but firm. That's not what I asked. How do you plead to the charge? Fine, whatever. I was speeding. Can I just pay this and leave? I don't have time for this. Judge Caprio reviews the citation details, while Patricia continues showing impatience. Ms. Whitmore, 25 mph over the speed limit in a residential area is serious. There are children, families. Patricia interrupts him. I know that neighborhood. Those people should teach their kids not to play near the street. I shouldn't have to drive 30 mph because parents can't supervise their children properly. The courtroom reacts with audible disapproval at her callous attitude toward child safety. Ms. Whitmore, the speed limit exists to protect everyone in that community, not just children. Your attitude toward this citation concerns me, Judge Caprio states. My attitude? Patricia's voice rises. My attitude is that I'm a successful businesswoman being lectured by a small-town judge about driving on a road I use daily. This is a waste of my time and taxpayer money. Judge Caprio stands, his patience clearly being tested. Ms. Whitmore, I'm going to remind you that you're in a courtroom. You will show respect for this process. Respect for what? For you rubber-stamping tickets to generate revenue? I know how this works. I'll pay your fine and be done with it. Ms. Whitmore, your fine for this violation is $350 plus court costs. Patricia laughs dismissively. That's it? I spend more than that on lunch. Just add it to my credit card and I'll be on my way. Judge Caprio's expression hardens. This isn't a restaurant, Ms. Whitmore. This is a court of law, and you're treating it like an inconvenience rather than a serious matter. Because it is an inconvenience. You're treating me like a criminal for driving a little fast on an empty road. Judge Caprio attempts to explain the seriousness of her violation, but Patricia's entitlement only intensifies. Ms. Whitmore, I'm looking at your driving record. You have 3 prior speeding tickets in the last 2 years. So what? I paid them all. That's how this works, right? You give tickets, I pay them, everyone's happy. No, Ms. Whitmore, that's not how this works. Each violation represents dangerous driving that could harm others. Patricia rolls her eyes visibly. Oh, please, I'm an excellent driver. I've been driving for 30 years without an accident. Your lack of accidents is fortunate, but it doesn't excuse repeated speeding violations. Look, Judge, Patricia says his title with obvious condescension. I'm a busy person. I run 3 companies. I employ over 200 people, and I contribute more to this city's tax base than most people in this courtroom will earn in their lifetimes. The gallery gasps at her blatant arrogance and disrespect. Ms. Whitmore, your financial status is irrelevant to your obligation to follow traffic laws. Really? Because from where I'm standing, it seems like this whole system exists to shake down people like me who actually contribute to society. Judge Caprio's voice becomes stern. Ms. Whitmore, I'm going to ask you one more time to show respect for this court. And if I don't, what are you going to do, Judge? Find me more money that I don't care about? You can't intimidate me. I'm not some scared kid or poor person who has to bow and scrape before you. The courtroom falls completely silent, shocked by Patricia's open contempt for judicial authority. Ms. Whitmore, your attitude in this courtroom is as concerning as your speeding. Both show a disregard for rules and the safety of others. Patricia picks up her phone again. Are we done here? Because I actually have important meetings today. Put that phone down, Ms. Whitmore. We are not done. Actually, I think we are. Patricia turns toward the door. Send me the bill. I'll have my assistant pay it. Ms. Whitmore, if you take one more step toward that door without my permission, you will be held in contempt of court. Patricia stops, turning back with a smirk. Contempt for what? For not being impressed by your little kingdom here? For showing repeated disrespect to this court? For attempting to leave in the middle of a hearing? And for demonstrating the exact attitude that makes you a danger on our roads? A danger? I'm a danger because I don't grovel before a judge in a tiny municipal court. Judge Caprio's voice becomes powerful, filling the courtroom. You're a danger because you believe rules don't apply to you. You're a danger because you think your wealth exempts you from common courtesy and legal obligations. And you're a danger because you have no regard for the safety of others. This is ridiculous. I'm leaving. Patricia takes another step toward the door. Bailiff, please ensure Ms. Whitmore remains in this courtroom. The bailiff steps forward, and Patricia's confidence wavers for the first time. You can't keep me here. Ms. Whitmore, I absolutely can. You're in my courtroom, and you'll stay until this hearing is concluded. Now sit down. Patricia remains standing, her arrogance fighting with the sudden realization that she might not have as much control as she thought. Ms. Whitmore, sit down now or I'll add a contempt charge to your speeding violation. Patricia slowly returns to her position, no longer looking at her phone. Now, let's discuss your situation clearly. Judge Caprio begins. You were cited for excessive speeding in a residential area. This is your 4th speeding ticket in 2 years. You've shown no remorse, no understanding of why this matters, and you've repeatedly disrespected this court. I don't have to stand here and be lectured by... Yes, Ms. Whitmore, you do. That's exactly what's happening right now. The courtroom watches as Judge Caprio systematically dismantles Patricia's entitlement, piece by piece. Judge Caprio sits back, his expression showing determination rather than anger. Ms. Whitmore, your original fine was $350. However, given your behavior in this courtroom, I'm increasing it to the maximum, $500 plus court costs. Patricia's face shows genuine surprise. You can't do that. I can, and I am. Additionally, I'm requiring you to attend a driver safety course within 30 days. A driver safety course? I've been driving for decades, clearly unsuccessfully, given your 4 speeding tickets. You will complete the course and provide proof to this court. This is outrageous. I'll appeal this. You have that right, Ms. Whitmore. I encourage you to explain to an appellate judge how you treated this courtroom and see if they're sympathetic. Patricia's arrogance begins to crack as the reality of consequences sets in. Furthermore, I'm adding a contempt of court charge for your behavior today. That's an additional $200 fine. For what? For not kissing your ring? For repeatedly disrespecting this court? For attempting to leave during a hearing? And for showing complete disregard for legal proceedings? So your total is now $700 plus court costs, which brings it to $850 plus mandatory traffic school. Patricia's face reddens, realizing her attitude has cost her significantly more than if she'd simply been respectful. You're punishing me for being successful. I'm holding you accountable for breaking the law and for showing contempt for the judicial system. Your wealth is irrelevant to your obligations as a citizen. I want to speak to your supervisor. I don't have a supervisor, Ms. Whitmore. I'm the chief judge of this municipal court, but again, you're welcome to appeal. Patricia stands silently, perhaps for the first time realizing that her money and status mean nothing in this courtroom. Ms. Whitmore, I want you to understand something, Judge Caprio continues. This court sees people from every background. Some can barely afford their fines. Others, like you, consider them pocket change. But the law applies equally to everyone. Patricia remains silent, her earlier arrogance completely deflated. When you speed through residential neighborhoods, you're not just breaking a rule, you're risking lives. Children live there, elderly people walk there, families exist there. Your convenience is not more important than their safety. Judge Caprio leans forward. Your attitude today showed me exactly why you keep getting tickets. You don't think rules apply to you. You think your business success exempts you from basic courtesy and legal obligations. For the first time, Patricia looks genuinely uncomfortable, rather than dismissive. I'm going to tell you what I tell everyone who appears before me. This court cares about your character more than your bank account. Today, you showed very poor character. Patricia finally speaks quietly. Can I just pay the fine and leave? Yes. But first you'll apologize to this court for your disrespectful behavior. What? You heard me. You will apologize for your disrespect, or I'll add another contempt charge. Patricia stands silently, pride warring with pragmatism. Ms. Whitmore, I'm waiting. I apologize for my behavior in court today, she says flatly. Ms. Whitmore, say it like you mean it. Patricia takes a breath. Your Honor, I apologize for being disrespectful to you and to this court. My behavior was inappropriate. Judge Caprio nods. Apology accepted. Now, let me be clear about what happens next, Judge Caprio states. You will pay $850 in fines and costs. You will complete traffic school within 30 days. You will provide proof of completion to this court. If you receive one more speeding ticket in the next year, I will personally review your case and consider license suspension. Patricia nods, finally understanding the gravity of her situation. And, Ms. Whitmore, one more thing. The next time you're driving through that neighborhood at 55 mph, I want you to remember this moment. Remember that your time is not more valuable than other people's lives. Yes, Your Honor. You're dismissed. The clerk will process your payment. As Patricia walks toward the clerk's office, she moves differently, less arrogantly, more soberly, perhaps beginning to understand that respect isn't given based on wealth, but earned through character and behavior. Patricia Whitmore's story serves as a powerful reminder that entitlement and arrogance will always meet their match in a fair courtroom. Money doesn't buy respect, and accountability applies to everyone, regardless of how successful they think they are. Judge Frank Caprio, proved once again that real authority doesn't need to be loud or aggressive. It simply needs to be firm, fair, and unwavering in the face of disrespect. The question for all of us: when we achieve success, do we use it to demand special treatment, or do we remember that wealth and status don't exempt us from basic decency and legal obligations? Patricia learned that courtrooms are the great equalizer, places where your character matters infinitely more than your bank balance, and where judges like Frank Caprio ensure that justice truly is blind to financial status. The lesson: respect is earned through character, not purchased with wealth. Rules apply equally to everyone, regardless of status. Arrogance and entitlement always have consequences. Humility costs nothing but can save you everything. In Judge Caprio's courtroom, what matters isn't the price of your handbag or the balance in your bank account. What matters is how you treat others, whether you take responsibility for your actions, and if you understand that being successful doesn't make you superior to the law or to basic human decency.